Hello, 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 everybody. We are back for another episode of Game Pass Gumbo. This time it's the Indiana Jones edition. I'm so excited for this one. This is such a great game. I was luckily able to get it for 3 days early access. I have a collector's edition, which we'll be showing off later today. But yeah, this I'm very, very excited. But before we dive into all of that, let's introduce the co-hosts here. We have Gold Shell.
Howdy, howdy, howdy.
We do have Q, but I think he's having some slight difficulties um right now. So we will loop back around to him shortly when he pops back in. But yeah, Gold, what have you been playing?
Well, Indy, obviously, but we'll talk about that
Obviously.
later. Still chipping away Visions of Mana, and then I've been playing Marvel Rivals. I went ahead and wore my Doctor Strange T-shirt and wearing my Eye of Agamotto because I've been smashing with Doctor Strange in there. So been playing Doctor Strange, Winter Soldier, Mantis. She's a pretty good healer. Venom's a lot of fun, and who else? Oh, Iron Fist. But I do know he's OP right now, so
Very OP.
yeah. So
Very nice.
yeah,
Yeah, you and I actually
preparing
jumped
Disney
into.
December with Indiana Jones and Marvel Rivals. So
Yeah. No, I'm with you there. That's pretty much been my experience, or my pretty much what I've been doing in the limited time I have right now is Marvel Rivals and pretty much Indiana Jones. Marvel Rivals, yeah, you and I actually jumped into a few games earlier in the week, which was pretty fun. We had the Hela Thor and Loki combo, which was just an absolute
yes, the
just
combos
gross
for
wreck fest.
Overwatch the combos are where it's at, man. Because then you start having people request certain character combinations, like what was it? Rocket jumping on Groot's back.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
and then you could
that's
have
pretty good.
Hulk throw Wolverine and stuff. Yeah, they got some pretty cool,
Yeah.
really cool stuff there. I think the game definitely needs a lot of balancing. There he
Hi,
is.
alive. Can you guys hear me?
You are
We
alive,
can hear you
sir.
loud and clear.
Can you
All
hear
right.
us?
Yes, I can hear everybody. Thank you. Yeah,
Are you
you know what it is. It's the same thing. Downloading the thing started messing with stuff, so I
all
had to.
all good. Let's introduce
Perfect timing because I was
Token
done.
slash Q. Yeah, to the show. Our other lovable co-host.
Hey guys, what's going on? I missed you guys last show, and the terrible co-host that I am, I just listened to it earlier today instead of like the weeks that I had to listen to it after it. Uh, but I'm looking forward to the conversation today. Some good
Yeah.
TGA stuff. We talk about uh, Indy. I think were we talking about games we were playing, right?
Yeah, we were just wrapping up on that, so you came in at perfect time. What have you been playing?
Okay, so I've touched Indy. I haven't gotten far into it yet because I've been this today actually. Um, the nonprofit that I'm the chairman of, plus my fraternity, we're putting on
Ooh,
a
fancy.
fundraising gala. So
Even more
we'll
fancier.
be hosting like a fancy dinner and dance kind of thing. So I've been I've been focused on doing a lot of that. So I haven't had too much gaming time, and I've been watching I've been catching up with a lot of anime. So I haven't been gaming too much, but I spent some time in Vessel of Hatred for a little bit, and I spent some time in Indiana Jones enough to get to the Vatican, and I'm looking forward to after today, and I don't have all this other stuff on my plate, sitting down and giving Indy the attention it deserves. Because so far, it is rocking that opening area where you basically play through the first scene of
Oh, beautiful.
Raiders of the Lost Ark. Perfecto.
Oh, yeah,
So
it's like literally a whole recreation of that scene. That whole yeah, it's just absolutely beautiful. I do want to give a shout out to OG Frost. Thank you for being here. Good morning to you
Hey,
as
what's
well.
going on?
good morning, OG Frost.
Yeah, man. That is what they've done. I mean, okay. Well, let's get into TGAs because I mean, we could. I think we're
Real
gonna.
real quick, I want to address the music at the beginning. That
Yep.
was done by a buddy of mine named Drew Beasley. He lives in I grew up with him in high school, and I showed him he shows me music, so I showed him the podcast, and he's like, "Oh, so this is what you do," and really good at music. And I said, "Hey, could you do an Indiana Jones song so we don't get copyright blasted? Because we need something." And dude, he pro bono, he was passionate about it, and I hope people liked it. But I'll put also his stuff in the description if you like his stuff.
Please
So
do.
And
huge
That'd be
shout out
awesome.
to Drew, man. I appreciate it,
and if
buddy.
he has a page or something, we'll put up. I guess we could put up the link.
Yeah.
Put up the link.
Yep.
Yeah, big thanks to Drew for that. That was an awesome intro
Mhm.
song. So let's get into the TGAs because I know if we start with Indy, it's just going to be nonstop, just praise fest for that game. Because there's so much. Like I said, I grew up with Indiana Jones. I was him for like 3 years in a row for Halloween. Let's do some TGAs. And we will talk about the show and everything like that. Who wants to go first? Do you guys want to talk about the winners
First of
first, or do you
all,
want to talk about the
I
reveals?
see that shirt, Q.
Very nice.
We'll talk about that.
Very nice. Yep. So I'm gonna assume I know what Q's favorite reveal was. Um yeah, let's talk about the reveals first, and then we can go into the winners because I think there's definitely a lot of controversy and stuff like that surrounding that. I think most people are in agreement with how some of the people or what some categories won. But let's go with the reveals first. Who wants to go first?
uh, you just pointed into space. Who is that supposed to be, Gocha? Oh, me? It's
Oh,
me? Is that pointing to me?
there. Yeah,
Okay,
There
there
we
we
go.
go. Ah, pointing to me. There we go. So I gotta say, for the TGAs, I am typically like I like watching them because it's Super Bowl for the gaming industry, Super Bowl two for the gaming industry because we got the summer stuff and we got the winter stuff. I love the trailers. I do typically have issues with the pacing. The last couple years, I've had issues with the way that they've treated the actual awards themselves.
Mhm.
I think this year is one of the best ones that they've done. I still had a bunch of issues, but it's the same issues. There's only so many times I can keep complaining about the same issues before there's okay. I'm going into watching the TGAs knowing this.
Mhm.
They did a better job, but there were still some awards that got like quick flash that I think deserved them getting up on stage and accepting the reward. But that's going to be every award show. Everything's not going to get some time up there. Some of the reveals that really stood out for me. Obviously, I'm wearing it on my chest right now. The Outer Worlds 2 gameplay. Obsidian is cooking. I'm expecting that we have Avowed at the beginning of the year and the Outer Worlds 2 at the end. Another one that actually like stood out was the very first thing that they showed in the pre-show was the Ninja Gaiden game.
Mhm.
Ninja Gaiden like Blood Rage or Rage of Blood or something. That looks cool because that looks like we're going back to classic Ninja Gaiden. At first I thought it was Shinobi. I thought it was Sega pulling out showing what Shinobi looks like with some gameplay. And then I was like, no, that's not Shinobi. That art style is different. And then we got a nice 2D scroller Ninja Gaiden. That's great. One I'm gonna let somebody else talk about because I haven't actually played the games yet, but I know how much other people love it. So I'll let one of y'all get to some CD PR stuff. I'm trying to think what else like really stood out. Oh, one that stood out to me was Dispatch. I don't know if you guys were paying attention to that one. It looked like you were playing an animated TV show where you're the dispatch for superheroes.
Yeah,
That looked interesting.
that's the one with
Uh,
Aaron Paul and Lauren Bailey, right?
yeah. That one looked interesting. I was like, oh, okay, this seems like something I would have fun playing. There were a lot of so I meant to say it earlier. There were a lot of good reveals. I think they did some of the best that they did in terms of the reveals and the pacing. Like this was definitely probably the best paced TGAs that I've watched in the last few years. So
Yeah.
pacing wise, they did a great job. I think the reveals, there were a lot of good ones in there. Not necessarily things for me because like some of the ones that I feel like the media hyped up before the show kind of landed flat for me because I wasn't a fan of those like series back in the day. But I'm not gonna talk. I'm gonna leave it with those three that I just talked about and let you guys get into some of the other ones too. So that's where I'm at with it. Overall, good show. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, very nice. Gold, what about the reveals for you? Kind of what were some of the ones that really stood out for you? Is there any ones that you were shocked by showing up like that? You gonna bring out the
Uh,
handy dandy notebook?
yeah. Okay. So, dude, the biggest shock for me, Q's. Yeah, that's the second one. But honestly, the fanboy in me really loved the fact that Harrison Ford showed up and
Nice.
gave
Yes,
props to Troy
that
Baker for his performance.
we
That was
knew they were gonna drag out some drunk old actor to be on stage. I'm glad it was Harrison
perfect
Ford.
one, man.
I'm glad it was
Makes
Harrison
just,
Ford.
dude, it's almost like Harrison Ford came out and just gave his blessing for the game, which we will
Basically,
talk about its majesty later. But so that was awesome. Outer Worlds
Rake
2 in 2025.
Rake says notebook energy, my man.
What was he?
He
Notebook.
said notebook
Yeah,
energy, my man.
that's where I'm at, dude. So the trailer for Outer Worlds 2, it goes from the people who brought Knights of the Old Republic 2.
two Neverwinter
I know.
Nights, two
Neverwinter Whites 2, and then at the end
Fallout
it goes
3,
Fallout
2.
3, 2, New Vegas. And he goes, it took us 3 times longer to make a game that's twice the size. Man, oh, it had me laughing. I had to watch that trailer a few times. It had me going,
Yeah.
man.
No, I
So
laughed.
2025, it looks way more epic, dude. It really does. So Obsidian is going to give Q. You and I are going to be eating as Obsidian fans in 2025, man. I
Oh,
cannot
for
wait.
sure.
I
Sorry,
mean,
I'm hoarse. I lost my voice last night, and I've been nursing it back to health. So I'm trying
they're
to get
just
excited.
killing it though. I mean, Obsidian, Avowed, and Outer Worlds 2 in 1 year. Like, come on,
Mhm.
dude. That's insane.
That's some ridiculous output, dude.
Yeah.
Hmm. And I mean, like
Borderlands 4.
we know that they meant to. We know that they meant to like have it come out this year, but it. Hey, we gonna be. It's gonna be good either way.
Yeah. No, I can't wait for it, man. It's a totally different story, totally different cast. So it's really gonna, yeah. So Borderlands 4 looks like they're gonna have vehicles. Looks like it's gonna go more darker take with the villain. Still gonna maintain that humor. I'm pretty hyped about Borderlands 4. Also
Oh yeah.
25. Shadow Labyrinth. It is a Metroidvania Pac-Man.
Ooh.
I've been trying to figure out where this come from, if this is a previous series or this is something new. It doesn't look like the internet knows what the hell it is either.
Oh,
There's
it's
writers grasping for straws, but I'm
the secret level episode.
well, I know that, but did it go before that?
I didn't see anything like I just from my understanding like to me it looks like they made that secret labyrinth episode to like introduce you to this new vision for a Pac-Man game because they don't call it
Yeah,
Pac-Man but they show it's Pac-Man.
it's Pac-Man. Ow, ow, ow. So I'm I'm here for it, dude. So the second Saber Interactive is bringing back Torok. Come on,
Yeah.
man.
That was a cool
Yeah.
reveal.
I remember Rake said in the Discord last night or the night it went down about how it's his N64 nostalgia. Hell yeah, Torok 2 and Torok 1 were one of my top Nintendo 64 games of all time. I put them up there with all the rare games like Banjo and Perfect Dark, and there was some dude. There was a lot of good shooters on
I think I
N64.
played 3. I played Turok 3
Turok 3.
and
I didn't play 3. I played
Evolutions.
1 and 2.
Yeah, I think I skipped 3 as well.
I don't remember 1 or 2. Like I could have possibly played them, or at least like watch my dad. I know I watched my dad play 2 of them, but we didn't have it in 64, so I don't know what other consoles they came on. But I know we played them.
Yeah.
So it might have been like 3 and Evolution, which Evolution is like the worst one. So
Yeah.
Uh,
Indeed.
for those that are listening live, you guys can go ahead and jump into the chat. Let us know what some of your reveals were. We will highlight them on the screen,
Yep.
like our buddy Rake here. He says Witcher 4, Split Faction, Outer Worlds 2, and Witcher 4. So those were some of his favorite reveals for the show. But yeah, go ahead, continue, Gold Chill.
I thought the musical performances were really good.
Snoop Doggy Dog, Snoop a Loop.
Snoop Dogg, 21 Pilots. I thought 21 Pilots song was quite beautiful, actually, and I'm trying to find out where it is, or what it was. I'll look into that later.
it's
Okay.
from Arcane.
Say what?
The 21 Pilot song is from Arcane. Actually, so apparently it was 3 songs from the Arcane soundtrack that 21 Pilots performed. It wasn't one song. It was like a medley of 3 songs from the soundtrack.
Oh, okay.
Guess I need to rewatch Arcane.
Second season, not the
I
first
tried
one.
giving it a shot before. I just didn't care. I may have to just suck it up and give it another shot.
Oh no,
I
give it
haven't
a go. I
seen
love
any
the
of it.
first season. I haven't watched the second one yet. I don't even like League of Legends. I didn't care about that, but the animation and the story for Arcane is top tier. I loved it.
Yeah. Like I said, the music performances were good. Uh, Obviously, Sony sweeped. Whatever. I'm
Well,
there
we'll
for
talk about that next. We'll
the
go into the
reveal.
winners and all
Yeah.
of that.
Yeah. Okay. It was some of them I agreed with, some of them I didn't. It is what it is. Overall, I still think it was a good show. What I want to highlight 2 other things that I thought was cool. The Game Changer Award, that dude Amir that was trying to help people laid off find jobs, giving him an award, and they actually kind of addressed the layoffs in a tasteful fashion, at least in my opinion. I thought that was kind of neat. And then it was funny that the Astrobot director said he was told not to mention Nintendo as
He gave
a
a shout out to Super Mario.
he's like, this company in Tokyo that does, or this company in Kyoto that does this plumber. You're sitting there going, you're gonna do it anyway, huh? So I thought that was pretty funny. But yeah, that's all I got. Overall, man, I will say that I was really hoping to see Final Fantasy IX remake at that thing, but I know it's not. That was not realistic. So I still give it like a 9.5 out of 10.
Yeah, no, definitely not bad, not bad. Um, so for you guys, before I go into mine and stuff about the reveals and stuff, was there anything I would just that now that Gold Shell mentions it for you, Q? What was one thing that you wish was revealed if you could have
that
it
I
revealed?
that I wish was revealed at this. So what was it that there was something that I was expecting to be there, and I'm surprised that it wasn't. What was it? I can't think of it right now. So here's my thing. Like I always try to go into these shows without like outside of what's rumored by people that uh, insiders and then they wind up being completely wrong. Like I don't go into these shows with an expectation for anything because I take the show as it is and then if it's hot, it's hot. If it's not, it's not. And I also try to do it to where it's not my personal preference for games and stuff. It's overall how good was this as a gaming show, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like I don't know if you're gonna bring up any of them, Cork, but like Okami was shown and like Onimusha and Rake said that one of his favorites was The Witcher 4 and so did
Mm-hmm.
Gosha. Like those games, I know those are big games that people love, but I never played them. I never played Okami. I never played Onimusha, so I'm not super hyped for them to be there. But I understand that them coming back is great for those franchises and great for those fans. So I, I'm while I'm talking, I'm trying to think, and I can't really think of anything that I was like, oh, uh, I wish it would have been revealed
Q says Silk Song. That's his. He wish it was revealed.
Ray goes, going to need to steal a mere Zelda jacket.
Yo, that Zelda jacket was fire.
It was
Yeah.
pretty gangster, man.
That was pretty cool. What about you, Gold? What do you, if there was a trailer like your trailer that you wish was there? If you could manifest that, what would have been your biggest reveal that you would have liked to seen there?
I got 3.
Okay.
Final Fantasy IX Remake, multi-plat, Banjo-Kazooie,
OG Frost just said the same thing. Banjo for boom.
Banjo for Boom,
Yeah.
and a new StarCraft, whether it's the rumored or no. It's the StarCraft shooter. I would love them to show
Yeah.
that one.
That would have been
Give
that would have
us
been off the wall.
Ghosts. Give us ghosts.
I know. Finally, after what? How many years? 7, 8 years?
That like, I always say this, like that trailer, that first time, what was that, E3? That was the first time I ever paid attention or heard of Blizzard, and was that time that they showed off StarCraft Ghosts, and I was like, oh, okay, this is interesting. This is something in the wheelhouse that I would want from this studio because I always hear about Blizzard and how great they are. Never happened. Never showed up. Still waiting for it.
Yeah. Like for me, like, well, I just want to say, just to start off, I thought the reveals part of the show, like if we separated the winners and reveals, I thought it was A+. So I'm not trying to say, oh, this was, I don't want anyone to think like, oh, we wish this was there because it would have been so much better show. No, I thought what they showed was actually really, really awesome. So
Yeah.
please don't get the wrong thing. I'm just curious.
Were unreasonable anyway.
Yeah,
So,
I'm just very curious on what people would have loved to see, like their number one, like if they could have something shown there, what it would have been. For me, like I said, yeah, it was A+ reveals. We had The Witcher 4, Borderlands 4, Project Robot. I'm a big for those that have already seen, I was on Booms on Friday. We kind of talked about this, so I'm gonna mimic some of those same opinions here. Project Robot, like I said, I'm a huge Shadows of the Colossus and Last Guardian fan. So I love those games. I remember I was actually working at EA when Shadows of the Colossus came out, and that's all I would do on my lunch break. Like I had an hour lunch. After I got done, I think, what project was I on? Was it Lord of the Rings or Command and Conquer? It was one of them. And yeah, after I would get done testing games for like 4 or 5 hours, I'd go and actually play Shadows of the Colossus for another hour, and then I'd go back to testing games, and then I'd go home and play Shadows of the Colossus some more. That's how much I love this game. Yeah, it was such a great, great classic game. So I'm a huge fan of that. I really want to see what they have. It's just the way that they came out with some of this gameplay, and on previous titles, they kind of shake the foundation up a little bit of what's the norm and what's expected in the genre. So I'm really excited for that.
I was going to come back to that because that was one of the ones. There's like 2 or 3 that I realized as we were talking that I missed. I'm not going to interrupt yours. I'll talk about them later, but that was one of them. I did like Shadow when I had a PlayStation 2. I did like Shadow of the Colossus. Never beat it. I wasn't the biggest fan of Ico because like I don't know. I didn't vibe with it as much as I vibe with Shadows of Colossus. So for them to be going multiplat and bringing, and I know the Last Guardian had like some people love it, some people hate it type situation, or do most of the people hate it? I don't know. I wasn't on PlayStation after that point, but I'm looking forward to seeing what this game is. From it, I hope we see that it's more Shadow of the Colossus than Ico. Never played the Last Guardian, so I can't tell you how much of that I want in it. But let's hope it's more Shadow of the Colossus than Ico. That's my
Definitely.
yeah.
I'm with Rake on Split Faction. I thought that looked absolutely amazing. Plus, it's Joseph Ferris. I mean, come on, that dude. It Takes Two and A No Way Out. Both classic games. I love those. That looks pretty amazing. I was pretty excited too. So OG Frosh mentioned earlier. smaller game, but I was hoping Dave the Diver would come to Xbox. When I saw, the trailer and stuff, I was like, oh, here it comes, because I just bought it on Steam. It was on sale, and I was able to get it on Steam for a pretty good deal. It's a great game, Dave the Diver, but I was hoping it would have came to Xbox as well. It's time, Let's I don't know, maybe I'm not sure why it's not on sale. Or why it's not there yet, but I was hoping that would have came to Xbox. Uh, Project Sentry, that looks absolutely amazing, from the
That
RGG
was
devs from Yakuza.
that was one of the other ones that I was like, oh, why did I mention this?
Yeah. Yeah, Project Sentry, that I mean, Yakuza, another franchise I've loved even before it came to Xbox. I had a PlayStation 4 Yakuza because it was just insane title on how they do that. Borderlands, yeah, I mean Borderlands 4, we've already said that. What else was there? I'm looking on some of these right now. Um Turok Origins, that was a really, really cool one. Mafia, the old country, that's gonna be
Yeah,
pretty
that looked
insane.
good.
I
That
heard
looked
they're
good.
dropping there's some new stuff that came out that's saying it's not gonna be open world anymore. They're gonna go back to that classic, Mafia 1, Mafia, kind of format where it's, kinda more, linear, where it's just on rails a little bit more.
So it's like it is a open world, but it's not the exploration and
Mhm.
going around and doing all that stuff that normally open worlds have. It's a linear story in an open world.
Yeah, I think it's moving away from 2 and 3 and going back, I think. I have to see if I can find the tweet. Somebody posted about it. I remember seeing that as one of the things right there. But yeah, those were some of mine right there. I got to say I wasn't excited by Intergalactic. Um I thought, it for me, I'm excited for it because it's a new IP from Naughty Dog. Okay, don't get me wrong. I'm excited because of that. But the way Jeff kind of hyped that up, um, yeah, is like he was like practically crying before he announced it. So I was like, oh, here we go. It's going to be a long IP everybody's been waiting for. We're going to see some awesome new gameplay, something. And then it was like a giant advertisement for like Porsche, Adidas, and Sony. So it's like,
So there's two times where he did that, where he was like on the verge of tears, like, "Oh, this game is going to be amazing, it's great," and then they showed the reveal, and I was like, like again, I haven't played the game, so I this is not me. This is not me saying anything disparaging about the game itself. It's just I don't have it in my background of games that I played. When he almost like wiped away tears from his face and he was like, "This is going to change gaming, and if you're a gamer and you just love games, this is for you. This is for you guys that love games." And then it was like a quick little 5-second trailer for Okami, and I was just like, "Was that it?" Like,
I mean, Okami's a classic in like
no, and
gaming. So
and
like
I
that's
and
why.
I get that, but it was like the introduction to it, just like with Intergalactic, his hype moment introduction to it just it's because I've never played the game, fell flat on me.
Okay.
All the quote unquote like I thought all like you said, the reveals were A plus. I'm not going to say that the reveals weren't A plus, but the like super hyped game changing. This is like these are the drops that made the Game Awards drops. Just missed me. They all missed me. Intergalactic missed me, even though I'm a fan of Tati Great Gabriel. So it's cool seeing her in a video game. But other than that, like
For, for
it's
me, I thought the Okami, that makes sense. Like for him to do that, I was like, oh, this is awesome. And then it did. It was a good payoff. But just to get like teary eyed over a cinematic, like
a CGI trailer.
yeah, like I don't know. It doesn't for me, I was just like that fell really flat. Like Rake even said W4 would have been a much stronger ending, honestly. Honestly,
Hmm.
Okami would have been a much stronger ending.
Yeah,
Like that I
the
saw. It was just
Intergalactic wasn't the ending that it like I think he thought it was going to be.
well,
Now,
for him it was. I mean,
yeah,
he's getting all teary-eyed and stuff, but it's just because it's like, oh, it's a new Naughty Dog game. Like that, it did nothing for me. Like, don't get me wrong, I love Naughty Dog. I think they're talented. They're amazing developers.
last
Um,
game I played from them was Jack 3.
yeah,
So
and it's just like I just don't get like why. It was just it
I,
felt super flat for me. It didn't seem like we didn't get any gameplay. Like I don't mind if you're gonna do a cinematic or something like that, but like that could have been shown at any point in
any point
time of the
anywhere,
show, and it
and
would
not
have
the
had
one
the
last
same exact
thing.
feeling. Would
Yeah.
have the same exact kind of payoff. I just
No,
don't see that as like a but wait, there's one more, kind of
it
thing
wasn't
moment,
the it wasn't the wait. There's more. But I will say what was good about the reveal for Intergalactic is Naughty Dog showing that they're doing something completely different from what they've done before.
which
I
is
think
good.
that that's great that they did that because when people they had the rumors something from Naughty Dog is going to be there. What were everybody's thoughts? Is going to be the next Last of Us game or remaster of something, or like we were going to get the third remaster of Uncharted for PC or something like that. That's my thoughts going into it. So
Yeah.
for them to go from me assuming that we were just going to get a remaster or like the next in the line of a series, and then they're like, no, we're going completely away
Like
from what we did last time.
yeah.
The the 80s. And here's the thing, because I know people were complaining about the product placement and stuff in the trailer, and it's like if the vibe of like 80s sci-fi doesn't get you, because that's what that was. That's like pure 80s sci-fi. Everything has it's the same
Blade
companies
Runner.
from the 80s and everything. Yeah, Blade Runner. Everything is commercialized, and you're going to see all these things here, and it's VHSs and a track recorders in space, kind of like
Yeah, like
that.
if it was
So that was
Uncharted, I'd have been
cool.
like, yes, yes, that makes sense. That reaction makes sense. But like how he just set that up, it just seemed like such a big miss for me. I was like, okay, new game from Naughty Dog, that's cool, but you didn't really show me a lot. Like Rick says, showed us
Yeah,
more
it showed us
products
more
than
products and
details.
details. Absolutely, yeah. So I mean, at this moment in time, they got to show gameplay before anybody can make any assessment of the game. But if
Yeah,
we're going off of just straight off the trailer that they showed, it didn't do anything for me other than to be like, oh, that's cool that Naughty Dog is going away from the franchises and remasters that they've already been doing and doing something completely different. So
100.
it did that, but it didn't do anything else but that.
Yeah. No, definitely. Fair point. Yeah, overall, like I said, it was really, really cool. I love the reveals that they did show. That for me, I think that was just kind of like a miss. It was kind of a swing there, swing and a miss for that. Um, but yeah, that was cool. I really liked it. I will want to give Jeff, kudos for letting developers talk. That's
Mhm.
as a former developer, and that was one of my biggest gripes, and I think it's something for 10 years people have been complaining about. That he
Oh,
finally embraced is like, dude, you're using these developers and their games to promote and market and advertisement. If you're going to give them awards, let them speak. Because right now this isn't the game awards. It's the product placement awards. It's the advertisement awards. It's the reveal
the Winter
awards.
Games Fest.
Yeah,
It's the Winter
it's
Game
Winter
Fest.
it's Winter Games Fest. But right now, we'll get to that. But right now, it was just but the fact that he actually let them speak, that was now for me, that's the Game Awards. It was the Game Awards this year because developers were able to come up, people were able to come up and actually get their fair day on the stage in front of a mainstream audience and say thank you for people and kind of be recognized for their craft. Um, Yes, that's dope. You were on Command and Conquer. I didn't know that. Yeah. Was it Generals or Tiberium War? I can't remember which one it was. No, I think it was Tiberium War. It's the one that had
I think I
the
remember
dude
you
from
saying before that it
Lost.
was Tiberium War.
Yeah, I think it was the dude that was from the dude from Lost and stuff like that. I can't remember. They brought back Kane. Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was. That was like one of the first titles I worked on before I was moved over to Lord of the Rings. Um,
Cork, do I have to get an autograph from you, buddy? Because you're like half of my RTS nostalgia, dude.
huh?
So, is it?
Well,
You're about half of my RTS nostalgia.
yeah, yeah, that
So
was
the other is Blizzard.
growing
Or
up.
I guess
I
a
actually
third. I guess a third because it's Microsoft and Blizzard.
One of my biggest regrets is not going to Blizzard when I had the chance. So I knew some people, then I could have went to Blizzard to go work for them. But honestly, I was just so burnt out on the industry.
Hindsight is 2020.
And,
Now that we've
and I
heard
was
what's
about to say
been going on over there,
it
so
probably wasn't it probably wasn't the greatest time to be there in the time that you would have went there.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's one of my biggest regrets. But then again, what I know now, maybe it's just, I was so burnt out on the industry
It
doing,
worked out the way it was supposed to, knowing what you know now.
pretty much. So, but
OG
yes,
say one
Frost.
thing about Blizzard real quick.
OG Frost, I got your Xbox handheld tease right here.
Well played, sir. Well played. What were you going to say about Blizzard, Gold?
Since we're gonna dunk on Blizzard a little bit, why is Warcraft 1 and 2 remasters not on PC Game Pass? Tell me that. That is
They don't like you.
inconsistent with the Game Pass message that Philly Cheesesteak Spencer put out. You need to fix that. I'm done.
I want to get back to OG Frost. A tease for the Xbox handheld would have been nice. You know what? I kind of agree. I think I just don't know. Maybe because Jeff had too much on the docket. Maybe to kind of give. I know they had some commercials and stuff. I know Sarah has said, holidays will show more about hardware. Maybe they were talking about this is the Xbox campaign. That's what she meant by it. I mean,
I'm
I would
pretty
have
sure
loved
they
to
were
see
talking
an
about the
OG.
Xboxes that came out already.
What's that?
I'm pretty sure they were talking about the additional Xboxes that came out. The Galaxy one with the 2 terabytes of storage. The black no, the black one was already out. The white one.
Mm-hmm.
All the
The
variants of the
terabytes.
series. Yeah, I think that's what they were talking about when they were talking about new hardware coming out.
I think
And
so
it
as
came
well.
out in like September, so people were like, "But holiday," and it's like, well, all the fall is the
It's
holiday
holiday-ish.
season.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So with that, I don't know. Maybe Xbox has something else planned. They don't want it to get washed in the reveals and stuff like that. They kind of want the limelight to themselves.
I also just think
Maybe they might have
we're
something this week.
it's not that. I also just think it's not that close. Like
It's not. Phil's
we
already
won't
said
see it
it's early development.
because as rumors have been saying, if it's 2026, then we're not going to see an actual anything about it until 2025. Why tell people a year and a half, 2 years in advance that
Yeah.
this is coming out when they can't buy it?
I mean, it's just more so to start the hype train. What's up, Gold?
Yeah.
Oh, are we just gonna brush over you said this week, Cork?
Yeah, I mean, who knows? Maybe they might have something coming out. I would assume so. Maybe they didn't want the Game Awards to overshadow what they want to announce, and they rather have a clean slate, an open window. Because what's coming out right now? Nothing. There's really no gaming news that's coming out for holiday season.
The last thing was Indiana Jones.
Yeah, right now it's completely open. If any game developer dropped anything big right now, this would be the week to do it. The next couple of weeks would be the weeks to do it.
But
So
I
maybe
don't
that's
see
what.
it.
I thought you were new something.
I don't
Oh,
see
no,
it
no.
because I don't see it because Microsoft does this
I've
every
heard
year.
stuff,
That
but
like they're off for like a month. So like, I think the Game Awards is like the last thing we'll see until like mid January because this is when Microsoft is like go not be here for all
mhm.
their employees, and they do that for like until
Yeah,
we see
they
the
give them
next
like
thing.
2 weeks, 3 weeks
Yeah,
off,
the next thing we see from Xbox is the second January Game Pass drop. I don't think we'll see anything until
or
then.
developer direct. Usually they have something in January. I think second week, third week of January. So
Yeah,
probably something like that. But yeah, I don't know. Who knows? Maybe before they take off, they may drop something. Who knows? But I could see them wanting to do that because they don't want it to get wrapped up. That's all I'm saying. Is maybe
you know,
they don't want it to get wrapped up inside the whole Game Awards and be overshadowed. So we'll see. You guys want to go on to the winners?
yeah, we can. Unless you got anything else that you want to bring up. We did bring up Project Century, so I do want to for the people that are fans of it. I know I'm not the biggest fan of the franchise, but I remember playing 2 and 3 and Mega Mix and I think some of 4. But them announcing that RGG is doing a new Virtual Fight, not Virtual Fighter 5 subtitled this like they have been for the last 20 years, but like an actual new entry into the Virtual Fighter franchise. Um, I they're a little later than everybody else, but we've just been seeing like a ton of fighting games just come back, and it's like, yo, it feels like it really the last couple years it felt like the 90s again in terms of fighting games. I'm not the biggest fighting game person. I grew up playing fighting games, but I do want to see what Virtual Fighter brings to
Yeah.
this arena now that they're kind of doing this fully fleshed new one. Virtual Fighter is the first 3D fighter that we ever got. So and they kind of rode on that for a long time. So now they gotta bring something new, something fresh to make people want to jump back into it again. So it
Yeah.
was cool that they announced that. I'm trying to think any other announcements that really like kind of stuck out to me. Um, no, I think that's about it in terms of you. You mentioned Project Century. We kind of
I do
got
want to say
through.
before he takes off, thanks, Rake, for being here. You got to go cook brunch for the family, my dude. I know it's going to be
All right,
absolutely delicious, being the chef that you are. So have fun with the fam, my man.
all right, buddy. See you later, man.
But yeah, let's move on to the winners list. I got a list right here, and we can kind of go. I'm gonna skip like the esports and e teams and the content creator, and we'll just kind of go through some of these real quick, and then you guys could let me know if you guys thought that this should have won or if it was a correct one, and then yeah, we'll kind of go through that. We'll start off at the bottom of this list. I have most anticipated. So we already knew as soon as GTA was put in that category, it was
That's
going to
what was
win it.
going with.
Yeah,
Absolutely,
it
absolutely.
that was an open and shut. For me, I think this was a big swing, and this is where you have, where the media again. For those that have watched me on Boom, I'm not a big fan of the gaming media being the people that vote on this. It's I'm not a big fan of it, and I think this is another instance where we're missing some classic titles here, like Doom, the Dark Ages. Where was
Dark
that?
Ages. Yep.
Fable, South of Midnight.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm not expecting anything Xbox that's not confirmed to be multi-plat to be part of the most anticipated. That's just
Yeah, I
Es-
mean, where are
especially as
those?
you say with media being the ones that are actually voting on stuff. I'm not expecting anything that's Xbox related and not something that's multi-plat to come up on most anticipated games list.
Yeah, I mean,
Doom
come
and
on,
Dark Ages not being one is, but
like
that's another.
Fable, they just before even this like whole thing came out, they just had a massive press event for South of Midnight, and somehow that's not on the list. Yeah, the Compulsion game that's coming out. Was it Clockwork Revolution? Hell, even Indiana
In
Jones.
Exile, you said Compulsion.
Um, yeah, or in Exile. Yeah, yeah. Indiana Jones, Compulsion South of Midnight. Um, in Exile, their game, like, come on, guys. Avowed, that's coming out in February. How is that like not most anticipated? Everybody's had time with it, their press. Um, it's just kind of weird that there's some of these on here. So, I mean, Monster Hunter Wilds, I mean, I don't know. The last, at the Summer Games Fest, it was a complete mess to play. So yeah, for me, I think this is a big category. What about you, Gold? What do you think?
Talk
What's missing from most anticipated that you would have liked to see there? I'm assuming Avowed for you.
Yeah. Um, most anticipated.
Like it just
I
seems,
think
I
you
don't know.
covered them.
Okay.
I think you covered them.
I mean, I'm gonna be completely honest, and the rest of the nominations didn't matter. Once GTA 6 was on there, the rest
Yeah.
of the nominations really didn't
Yeah.
matter.
That was gonna win no matter what.
Unless there was
Um.
another Rockstar game getting put on there, like Manhunt 3,
Oh, I know, right?
Bully.
Bully 2. That would have
Bully.
took.
There you go.
That's still rumored in development. So I mean, we'll see. Um.
Cyberpunk Red Dead. Whatever they throw out.
Yeah. Uh,
Cyberpunk Red Dead.
Best multiplayer game. This again, another massive, massive miss here. Helldivers 2. Don't get me wrong, it's a fun multiplayer game. But when you stack it against something like Call of Duty, hands down, is back. It's one of the best entries into the franchise so far. Had one of the cleanest launches. I can't see how Helldivers 2. It seems more, we mentioned this on the Boom show that I don't know if this is true or not. I'm just making a guess, so please don't take this as gospel. But it just seemed more like a pity vote. Like they felt bad for Helldivers 2. I just can't see how you you go over Black Ops 6 when it's had one of the most successful launches ever, one of the most biggest launches ever, biggest user base, best stuff that they've added in years. It blows my mind. What do you guys think?
Little to no complaints from the fan base.
Yeah,
Yeah.
surprisingly. Usually it's just a complaint fest like the first week or two.
So I haven't played Helldivers 2. And I'm gonna be completely honest, like I want to play Helldivers 2. So if I had a computer that was beefy enough to play
I
it,
was
or they
hoping they
had it
would
on
give an
Xbox,
announcement
like
for that one.
yeah, so I can't say that it doesn't deserve the multiplayer game award, but I also can say that of Black Ops 6 is fantastic, and I would have assumed that that would have won hands down because it came out the box as a great experience. Um, I I don't think
Yeah.
Helldivers came out from the rip as a well, gameplay wise, it came out as a great experience. But I know they had issues outside of the login account thing. They had like server issues and stuff and everything when they first launched for like the first couple weeks. If memory serves correctly, does that serve correctly? Am I wrong on that?
Say that again?
Did they have like some server issues like for the first couple weeks of launch for Helldivers 2, or am I mistaken?
Yes. No, there was a little bit of shakiness and stuff for I think a few days. I don't think I can't remember if it was a few weeks, but it definitely wasn't the smoothest launch. But
Hey,
yeah, I mean, don't
I,
get me wrong. This
I
is a
haven't played.
great
I can't tell you.
Yeah, this is a great it's Helldivers 2 is a very, very fun multiplayer. I played lots of hours in it. I got the Super Citizen edition. Don't get me wrong, I like Helldivers 2. I just if you're gonna put it against Black Ops 6, I just can't see how it took the winning spot for me. Don't get me wrong. Like I said, I'm not saying it's a bad game, please. I love Helldivers 2. I think it's a great game. I just don't think it should have won over Black Ops 6.
What else was there? Helldivers 2, Black Ops 6, I think was Diablo on the multiplayer game list.
No, it
Or
was Warhammer 40K Space Marines 2, another great multiplayer.
Mhm.
Tekken 8, Super Mario Party Jamboree, Helldivers 2, and Call of Duty 6.
Okay. Damn. I'm surprised. I'm surprised Mario didn't win.
Yeah, actually, Nintendo didn't win anything. I don't think this
Yeah,
year.
shocking.
I
My
think they only
wife,
showed one thing
or
too.
the people that I know that play Jamboree are having some issues with it. They said that it it's not quite up to gameplay mechanics as the previous one, but
Hmm.
that's only limited what I've heard. I mean, I'm sure the grander community thinks different, but that's all I'm hearing from people that I know.
Oh, okay. The next category, best sports or racing. I think FC was probably the winner. The FC, that's the one that won. I kind of agree with that. It
Hmm.
was F1 24, WWE 2K 24, Top Spin 2K 25, and NBA 2K 25. EA Sports FC 25 was the winner, which I've heard is a great, great entry. Moving away from the FIFA, branding and coming out with FC. So, which actually I'm kind of surprised college football isn't up there.
That's what I
I
was about
thought
to say. I know the one that people were saying was like, why isn't this there? Is NCAA college football because that came not only did that come back this year, it came back did really well.
very
Had
well.
people buying Xbox Series X's all over, Xbox Series S's all over the place, uh, and it didn't even make the list for best sports game.
Yeah.
And they put a game from 2024 on there. They put like last year's entry of something. But
WWE.
they put WWE's entry last year's entry into it, but they didn't put college football. That's crazy.
Yeah. Which, don't get me wrong, WWE 2K is actually a lot better game than what they've been doing the last previous seasons. I usually play them and stuff like that. I think I skipped this one. I want to get it on sale. It's just too much to play. But they are better entries now into the series. But yeah, I think college football should have 100% been on there. Best sim and strategy game, Frostpunk 2 won. Not my kind of game. I've tried it. I don't know, wasn't really my thing. But I agree with it. I think it's a beautiful title. It played well. The mechanics in it are very interesting. So I can see how that won.
That was one of the ones I was just like, okay, sounds it
Mhm.
sounds about right, I guess.
I think Gold's more of the sim strategy kind of, or strategy kind of guy. So I'm not
He'll
sure if you agree
he'll
with
tell
this. I
you.
know Age of Mythology was up there for you,
I'll say
which
he'll
I'm
tell
pretty
you Age of
sure.
Mythology Retold was supposed to win.
Dude, Age of Mythology was awesome. The
Yeah.
retell of that, it's sweet. I haven't played the other ones, so I don't really. Yeah, it
Okay.
may have earned it. I can't give you an honest opinion.
All right.
Oops.
Best family game. This is another miss. This is where I think, like I said, they just wanted to give Astrobot a win. Astrobot's not a family game, guys. Come on. I mean,
It's a
it beat
single
out
player
Princess Peach.
game.
Huh?
It's a single player game.
Thank you. Yep. Princess Peach, Showtime, Astrobot, which won? Super Mario Party,
Princess Peach is a
Jamboree.
single player game too, by the way.
Huh?
Huh?
Princess Peach Showtime
Yeah.
is a
Yeah,
single player game
I
too.
don't know how those are family games if they're single player. I'll
Yeah.
again
And you're getting
Legend
the
of
next
Zelda. Well, let me go through the list real
so
quick
they
and
can go
then
do something else. That's
yeah.
how.
let me go. Let me go through the list real quick.
Oh, here it is.
Uh, Princess Peach Showtime, Astrobot, which is the winner, Super Mario Party Jamboree. I mean, that's a family game. The Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom and The Plucky Squire were listed. So, I mean, is it just the best family game, or is it just the best, I guess,
E
children's
game,
title,
yeah, yeah, like
or
if it's supposed to be like the
like
best E
family
for
friendly
everyone game or
game?
something, yeah, or family friendly, something like that. But like when I think a family game, I think of a game that like a group of people, i.e., a family, can play it together. Like,
100%.
and I mean, like, yes, I spent much of my childhood doing this, passing the controller left and right, and but I would not consider those games that I played family games. Like two-player co-op at a minimum for it to be considered a family game.
Hmm.
But that's just me. If it's family friendly is what you're saying, like it, they're more E for everyone titles, then okay, I get that list. But yeah,
That makes
semantic.
sense.
Princess Peach should have won.
Yeah, or Super Mario Party Jamboree
It
at least,
should have
because
won
that's an
that one.
actual family game.
Agree, disagree. I think Princess Peach should have won. That's my
Did you play
that's
Princess
my
Peach?
opinion. Huh?
You play Princess Peach?
Yeah. My daughter
Okay.
beat it.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
So yeah,
Uh,
it brought some joy to my house. So I'm biased.
But I was about to say bias shilling.
Shilling. Um, Best RPG, Metaphor ReFantasio. I mean, that's just,
Not
yeah,
gonna complain
that's,
about it.
nope, that's that. They got that one right for sure. Um, Best action adventure game. Another one. This is where I think the Lost Crown probably should have taken it, but the category, or the winners were, or the nominations were, The Legend of Zelda: Echoes of Wisdom, Star Wars Outlaws, Silent Hill 2, Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown, and the winner was Astrobot. Um, yeah, I
Yeah.
don't think Astrobot should have won this. I think this was hands down robbed, because the Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown is a beautiful title.
Oh, and because you mentioned it real quick, and we're going to see this when you start naming other things. Silent Hill 2 was in these nominations a lot for a
Hmm.
game that, like, well, I don't know.
But
I didn't actually pay attention to what the what like how much it sold or anything or what it got. But I just it there was a lot of hype about it before it came out, and then like I feel like I didn't hear nothing about it after it came out. Yet it's in like four or five different nomination categories for the Game Awards. And just like I don't
I mean, don't get me wrong. I heard it's a good game. I haven't played it yet. Like, again, just way too much. I'll probably get it on sale on Steam or something like that. But um, yeah, I think it's more of another where remakes are. I don't know. It just felt like they're forcing it in there. I don't know. I
And
wasn't.
not saying it doesn't deserve anything, just saying that like it was there a lot for a game that we didn't hear much about after it came out. Before it came out, we heard everything and it had, oh, Silent Hill 2 is coming back. And then after it came out, like everybody wrote their reviews and then it went into the ether somewhere, but yet came
Yeah.
back for TGAs. Like came back in force for the TGAs.
Yeah. Yeah, so I think this is where the Lost Crown got robbed. That should have been Best Action Adventure. It's such a awesome title. The next one, Best Action Game. The nominations were Warhammer 40K, Space Marines 2, Stellar Blade, Helldivers 2, Call of Duty Black Ops 6, and the winner, Black Myth Wukong. This is where I think Helldivers actually should have won for Best Action. For me, it would have been Helldivers 2 or Space Marines 2. I think both of those games should have taken the winner. If either one of them got it, I wouldn't have been surprised. Helldivers 2 is an amazing action game. Same with Warhammer Space Marines 2. This is also, I think, Space Marines was totally snubbed for most of these titles, most of these nominations. It's a
Yeah,
very, very great game.
I know
Um,
a lot of people through my brother who stopped playing World of Warcraft because they're Warhammer fans and
mhm.
went to play Space Marine 2 and just fell in love with it. It got snubbed on this award show.
Yeah, and I'm
Go
not
ahead.
even a big Warhammer fan. I'm not. I know nothing about the series, but I absolutely loved the gameplay and what it had to show. So yeah, I
I
think
didn't play any of the games that was on the list for this category, so it was whatever it
yeah.
was is what it was.
Like I said, I think Helldivers 2 should have won for sure. I think this is a category where it beats Black Ops 6 for sure, is in the pure action of it, and it gets insane. Yeah, it's that was a big miss. Um Best VR AR game was Batman. I've seen it. It's a great game. I would have think either Asgard's Wrath 2 possibly should have taken that as well. If either one of those two got it, I wouldn't have been unhappy. But yeah, I think Batman's Arkham Shadows was a great game.
Didn't IGN give Asgard's Wrath a 10 out of 10 too?
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah, Jesse from
Okay.
Xbox Era played it. He said, yeah, there's like 60 hours. Like that's insane for
Oh,
like
for
or
a
up
VR
to
game,
60
yeah.
hours or something. Yeah. Like something crazy. There's a long amount of hours that you can actually spend. It's like a full-fledged like RPG, I think he was saying. Best mobile
When
game,
I get a
Balatro.
quest,
Huh?
Of course, Balatro.
when I get a quest next year, I'm probably going to pick up Asgard's Wrath too.
Nice. I have one. I just need to pull it out. Ever since I moved into my house, I gotta find out where it's at.
I'm going to
Balatro,
pick up
best mobile
3.
game.
Didn't you move like 2 years ago?
Yeah, it's somewhere here. Yeah, it's been about 2 years now, and I got I have a closet that's meant for my clothes, and 99% of it is all the gaming crap I've, like, accumulated the last
Made
10
over the
years.
years.
Like, backpacks, hard drives, just tons of swag I have no idea what to do with, but I
I'm
don't
sitting
wanna
here,
throw
Put it
away.
out,
Cork.
film
I'm
it,
sitting here
and
for a
make
second.
content.
Yeah.
Cork, I'm sitting here for a second. I'm like, yo, did you move again and didn't tell anybody? It's like, no, this you talk about the move from like
2 years
almost
ago.
2 years ago.
I have a ton of swag in that closet that I have no idea what to do with. I got like a Project Scorpio custom hard drive like that, like only like
Oh,
400, 500
nice.
people have that. Yeah, I've never even opened it. I just got so much crap in there from Xbox and other gaming companies. I really need to go through that one of these days so I actually have a closed closet to use.
So I
But
thought
yeah,
about using my stepdad's one because my stepdad has a MetaQuest 2 that he got for Christmas like 3 years ago, and he used it one time, and that was when I was setting it up so he could use it. I'm gonna be like, yo, let me borrow that so I could
yeah,
give VR a go without paying any money
the
because
Quest
that's
2
my
is
biggest
awesome.
thing.
It's great. I love it. Like I played all the Star Wars games, the Vader Immortals. It's a good little cool platform.
I
Dude,
didn't know
Tales
you
from the
sweating
Galaxy's
in it.
Edge. Quest was awesome. That was a VR shooter at its peak, dude.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, best mobile game, Balatro, we already knew. I mean, that's just
Yeah,
hands down.
that was
Best independent game, Balatro. I mean, that's just yeah. Nothing wrong there. They got that one right for sure. Best community supported, Baldur's Gate 3. I don't know. I'm not
mm, I
yeah,
was like,
Didn't they just
I
announce
was
they're not going to do any more support for it?
no, no.
I'm not
They announced
sure.
that they were doing more.
Well, that's what I heard from my brother, so I don't know the truth behind it.
Like, is this community support? Like, this is another one that's kind of vague on what the actual category is.
Mhm.
Is this just because the community stuck around with them for so long during hard times? Because Helldivers 2, there's no mod support for it. So
Yeah,
I mean, No Man's Sky, best community support. I mean, again, I think there is mods actually for No Man's Sky, but I mean, where's the categories that actually have mods?
yeah.
Like
Because
Starfield.
my question becomes, if we're talking about community support and you're picking games where like it's supposed to be content complete, but they're still getting updates and fixes and stuff. Like if your game wasn't in a good, and I'm not saying that Baldur's Gate 3 wasn't in a good spot. Still haven't played it. I'm just saying if your game wasn't in a good spot when it launched, but then you made updates and put patches out and stuff for a year, does that put you in the community support
But that's best ongoing,
category?
basically.
Yeah. So it's like I'm not quite understanding what were the like you're saying. I didn't
Yeah.
quite understand what was the category. The category is vague. What makes it, you know, ongoing community support?
Yeah. I mean, basically,
Is it
Starfield should have
DLC?
won this because
Yeah.
look at the mod support there. I mean, any Bethesda game with mod support should have taken that title.
Oh, speaking of,
Or
I
Cyberpunk.
gotta try out that Doom. Uh, actually, while we're sitting here and I'm not doing anything, I'm gonna go download that Doom engine for Starfield.
Very nice. So speaking of best ongoing, that's actually the next title. Best ongoing is Helldivers 2. No, that's a big swing and a miss. It's not even out for a year or whatever, and you're getting best ongoing. Um, yeah, F off with
What
that.
what have they
TFO.
done? What have they like? What and again, we're going back to like what we're thinking about when we think about these categories. Best
Yeah.
ongoing. I feel like
I mean,
that's a new
see,
content, new features, adding stuff to the game. Like
they've added stuff, but I mean, it's just been mostly war bonds. Like that's
yeah,
all
I
it's
was
been.
about to say
They just
it's been
barely came out
skins.
with their first big like DLC of a new enemy type. Um, just barely. So it's like how did that?
How did it
Yeah,
get
I don't know.
best ongoing game? Yeah, and again, like probably great, probably
Yeah,
amazing, but like
I don't.
it's always that thing where it's like, okay, this
Yeah,
is your category, but does the game that you pick for this category actually fit into that category, and how?
yeah. I don't think Diablo should have been on there. Don't get me wrong. I think Diablo's a great game, but I think Sea of Thieves should have been up there. I mean, if Destiny 2, I don't like Destiny 2 anymore. I've it's a love-hate relationship there. But Destiny 2 should have gone it, I think, because I mean they've put out a ton of content. They've stuck with the game for so long. Final Fantasy 14, they came out on Xbox. That's well deserved in that category. But Fortnite, look what they've done. They've came out with a Lego of festivals. Those three I can see winning. I don't mind, but like snubbing Sea of Thieves there, come on. All right. Just because we are going a little long and I do have to start getting ready for a party, we're gonna kind of go up a little bit into game of the year. Um, and then we could talk because we still have to talk about
We got to
Indy.
talk about indie,
Yeah.
yeah.
So just to save on time, I think there's a few more that are a little shaky, but it's like score, music, audio design, art direction, um,
I am
best
glad Hellblade
narrative.
2 got some wins
What's that?
because I am glad Hellblade 2 got some wins
Yes, very well
because
deserved. I mean,
yeah,
they're nominated 11 times for the BAFTAs, so it's kind of shows you a little weird why the gaming media, I don't think should be in charge of this. But yeah, I think it got snubbed a few times as well. But yeah, I'm definitely happy. I think 100% Melina Juergens should have 100% won that, and she well deserved it
Hmm.
for best performance. But let's hit game of the year. The nominations were Metaphor ReFantazio, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Elden Ring, Shadows of the Erdtree, Black Myth Wukong, Balatro, and Astrobot, which is the winner. I again, 3 of these 6 should not have been on this list. I think there was way better games that came out that should have been. Indiana Jones, Hellblade 2, even Space Marines 2, I could see should have been on Game of the Year. Um, I don't think Black Myth Wukong should have been here. Shadows of the Erdtree shouldn't have been there, and I don't think Final Fantasy VII should have been on there. They're
First of
all
all,
great games, but
DLC DLC being nominated for Game of the Year is wild to me. And I know that we already knew that they were going to try to pull that BS when Jeff put out that statement, or was it Jeff that put out the statement, or the statement was put out about what counts as a game for them to nominate it for stuff. Like Shadow of the Erdtree, I get it. It's an extensive DLC. That's great. That's also for the people playing it, but it is additional content to a game that already came out. That does not qualify it for being uh,
yeah,
a new game to be considered game of the year. That's just like last year when they did the best ongoing game with Cyberpunk 2077, and they were trying to give Phantom Liberty a bunch of awards. It's like it's DLC. It is the addition to a game that's already come out. Stop
yeah.
trying to give games that you already gave awards more awards.
Just make its own category. Best
Yeah.
DLC.
Like make a DLC category, make a
Yeah,
remake category. Like
with
if you
so
want to
many.
give, if you want to throw these games, let's take out. And this is opinion. This is my personal preference. So for people that actually enjoy these things, I'm sorry that I don't agree with you on it. Take out all these damn esports and e-team and like streamer awards that nobody cares about,
Mhm.
and then put in like the best remake, the best DLC, like put in like 3 or 4 more categories that you try to when you try to like fit these other games into these categories. Don't do that. Take out some of the categories that nobody cares about and give
Yeah,
these games categories that they can win, and it'll be a fair win. Have a remake
100%.
remaster category. That makes sense. Having a remaster or remake as a game of the a year category, or having it in any of these other categories where it's, especially if it's nothing new, if it's a reboot of something where it's new stuff, cool, put it in all these awards. If it's a remaster, because the only thing that you can really say is like how much better is it than the old version, that needs to be its own category. That shouldn't be, remasters or remakes um shouldn't be taking the time from games that actually came out for the first time this
Yeah.
year.
Yeah, yeah. I was gonna go to Gold Show, but I think he stepped away real quick. Oh, he's back.
No, I'm back.
Um, what about you?
He,
What do you think,
he said he
about these
disagreed with everything
nominations?
I said.
No, the streamer stuff, I was laughing of all the names. And I go, this I was in the kitchen when they were announcing it, making some snacks or whatever. And I go, this just sounds like nonsense. But whatever. Replace the streamer with a more game changer awards. Because I really like that idea of honoring people in the industry that's helping out the industry.
Hmm.
Wait. Oh, I was talking about Game of the Year.
Oh, he's talking about different who should have been game of the year.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. For me, yeah. If you know the list, so the thing was Metaphor ReFantazio, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Elden Ring, Shadow of the Erdtree, Black Myth Wukong, Balatro, and Astrobot. I said 3 of them shouldn't have been on there. Some people say 4. They believe Balatro shouldn't have been on there. I 100% believe it should have been. It's a new genre or a hybrid genre. I mean, it's done what, like 250 million downloads or something ridiculously crazy, or something like that. It's made by one guy basically, from Canada. I mean, it swept the gaming industry and the gaming community. It's 100%. For me, I believe it deserves to be up there as for game of the year for what it's done, for its the accolades, the accomplishments. There's still a ton more stuff coming out for it. I 100% believe it should have been there. So for me, like I said, what do you think? Should some of those be replaced? Is it a good list, good nomination? You agree with the winner?
I don't agree with the winner. Um, I would say replace Elden Ring with Space Marine 2.
Good.
Replace Final Fantasy VII Rebirth with Visions of Mana. And Visions of Mana is my game of the year.
There we go. All right, so we have that. Yeah, I mean, all solid. I just don't think Final Fantasy, Elden Ring, or Black Myth should have been there when there's Indiana Jones, Hellblade 2, and Space Marines 2 there. That I think believe 100%. Astrobot, don't get me wrong. I think Astrobot 100% deserves to be in Game of the Year. It's a solid platformer. It sets the bar pretty high in platforming. I just don't think it should have won overall. For me, out of this list, if I had to pick, I would say Metaphor Refantasio, or Balatro. Those two I think should have won, especially Balatro for what, like I said, what it's done. And just purely on its own basis and just its gameplay and the downloads and how it's, like I said, completely taken over the gaming industry and communities as a favorite. I think that should have won at least, or Metaphor Refantasio. But well, that does it
The
for the
only one I
TGAs.
want to play is Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. So if we're going by the Game Awards, I'm giving it the Rebirth. So,
All right, fair enough. Fair enough.
there,
I'm biased as hell, so I'm gonna keep my comments to myself.
Let's hit Indiana Jones. I don't know. I think we've kind of beaten that dead horse of the TGAs a little bit. There's a lot of controversy there, a lot to unpack. But let's hit the meat and bones of the show, which is whoops. Did I? Yep, I did that wrong. Quick edit, ticker, save. There we go. Ta-da! Look at that. All right, there we go. Indiana Jones impressions and reviews. Um, I can't believe I clicked the ticker button. I didn't think I did, but yeah, Indiana Jones impressions and reviews. Let's get this meat and bones of this conversation in this show. Amazing. I mean, it's absolutely amazing. This is a solid title to kind of bring back the previous conversation of TGAs. It's kind of horrible that it's not considered. I guess they missed the cutoff time, which is just another reason why the TGA should be in January. But of course, because of ad revenue and marketing and all of that, trying to hit the holiday season, Jeff
It
likes
won't be.
to do it in December and cut off month and a half before the year's actually over. So kind of a waste that it's not in there. This hands down should have been Game of the Year nomination. But let's go with your guys' gold. Let's go start with you first. Let's get that handy dandy notebook out and let's get that there it is. Let's get that Indiana Jones review and impression from you.
dude, Indy is incredible, man. I'm a big fan of Indy. I've even got a little something after I talk about the actual game itself. Cutscenes are incredible. What I've been trying to figure out is, do I play in cinematic mode or widescreen mode? Because I've been switching between the two, and I wish Machine Games would put in something where the cutscenes were all letterbox and the game was widescreen, so I don't have to switch back and forth. But that's a really cool feature. A lot of accessibility features and film features and all that stuff are incredible. It's really hard to tell that it's not Harrison Ford. So
Yeah.
if we get a performance, Troy Baker needs to be on their next Game Awards for his Indiana Jones. Hands down. It's
Oh,
hard.
100%.
It is hard to tell it's not Harrison Ford. Even Harrison Ford came on stage and said, if I known he's going to do so well, I was going to do it myself. So music, I was actually, after I played a little Indy this morning, I watched the documentary for John Williams. And yeah, it's the people that did the music for this, and I know they used some of John Williams' music too, but they nailed the music. And as George Lucas said in that documentary, music's half of it. So that was the one key thing. But the thing is Hogwarts Legacy, Jedi Survivor, Jedi Fallen Order, Indiana Jones have all captured that John Williams feel, the big orchestrals, the motifs, and they've really nailed it. And anything that John Williams is a part of is elevated, and they're showing that off in a lot of these games, and it's incredible. Gameplay's fun, man. I don't know who was talking about the gameplay being not for them, but different strokes, different folks, whatever. But the way that you can use the transition between the gun and the whip and the punching and I just figured out you can throw dynamite, dude.
Yeah.
Just the way the gameplay's done is it changed my approach. So normally with Black Ops 6, I would just sit there and go, okay, here's the objective. And you're just running towards it. With Indy, when Machine Games said, I understand what Machine Games said when they wanted you to be Indy and not play Indy, because you are Indy. I went in, instead of beelining down a dungeon, I'm sitting there going, nope, I'm going to set off a trap. So I'm sitting there looking back and forth, slowly inching my way to the objective and stuff like that. So that hit me when I was playing it. I go, damn, they really nailed that part. And then, was it all the puzzles? So the puzzles are so intuitive and so much fun. And I'm forcing myself to not look at walkthroughs because I want to be Indy. And I have yet to look at a walkthrough because they're so well done. Yeah, they're all fun. Every single thing. The platforming's fun. I got my ass kicked a little bit when I was trying to figure out the whip and the swinging stuff, but once it clicks, it clicks. Just everything clicks. The cutscenes. I was talking about Troy Baker's performance. It feels like a movie, dude. You're getting, what was it, 4 hours of cutscenes? So you're essentially getting 2.5 full-fledged Indiana Jones movies in its prime, and then we don't know how many cutscenes we're going to get with the Order of the Giants DLC. So you're looking at almost 4 movies worth of indie content. I knew I would wait to say God Howard before this game came out because I like Chris Metzen, and I'm not a huge Bethesda guy. Like Fallout and Elder Scrolls aren't as precious to me as a lot of Bethesda fans. So I never really called him God Howard, but he gonna get God status now, man. He nailed it. Then I cannot say enough about it. So I've got an Indiana Jones theory. So you know how he complains about his hat? I think that's a misdirect. So I was doing some research, and in like indie fashion, I did a whole write down notes, drew some stuff, hit it with coffee and burned it up a little bit, make it look like an old document. so in the pagan, so there's a book by Anne Ross. It's called Pagan Celtic Britain. There was a pottery found in Richborough, Kent, which is in Britain, depicting the god Ogmia with a whip. Now, Ogmia is a Gaulish god, Celtic god, which resembles Ogma, which is another Celtic god, more on the Brittonic Celtic side. And that god is the god of eloquence, learning, writing, master of speech, and knowledge. And he was even associated with the creation of the Ogham, which is the Celtic, the Druidic way of writing. So they would have hash marks and stuff. It almost looked like coding. And that's how they would actually inscribe on certain tablets for historical purposes. I think it was the Druids. So my theory is that is the whip of Ogma, and that Indiana Jones, all of those things I listed are just some things that he's just really good at, or well more elevated than the normal person. Indiana Jones is an impressive guy in himself, but there's so many archaic, mystical things about Indiana Jones that this makes sense to me. So my theory is that Indiana Jones is empowered by Ogma's whip, or I like to call the whip of wisdom. Thank you.
Very nice. Very well done. Let's give a round of applause on that. That was definitely Professor Goldshell, ladies and gentlemen. That's actually a really good theory.
Museum.
Yep, that's actually a very, very good theory. I've never thought of it. But I mean, it would make sense. I think that could be a good storyline later on in the Indy franchise. His whip and
Todd
everything like
Howard.
that. Todd Howard.
Give me a call, bro.
There we
I
go.
got a bunch of ideas for that.
Q. Let's go to
Yes,
you.
sir.
Kind of spit your take on Indy, what you've played, how you like it, things like that, how far you've gotten. We should probably no spoilers. I don't know if you guys have beaten it so far.
Nope.
But probably safe to say probably no spoilers for those
Yeah, no.
watching.
Well, so I actually haven't gotten. Like I said, I've been a little bit busy with the gala coming up tonight, so I haven't gotten far enough to actually. I've gotten to the Vatican, and I've gotten like the first couple things in the Vatican, walking around and looking. So I'm not that far in. Obviously I got to play through the opening scene, um, which was really dope. Like I like that they recreated the beginning of Raiders of the Lost Ark for the beginning of this, and did like you said, like we said before, 1-for-1 recreation of it, and I thought that was really awesome. The gameplay itself, I'm really enjoying so far from what I've played. Being able to move around the environment, having very free and open but like linear environments for you to make your way through. Like you're going to the same place, but you can get there in multiple ways. I always like a map design like that, where it's not just follow this linear path. It's a linear path. You're going from point A to point B, but there's 7 different ways to go from point A to point B. So that already comes across in the first little bit of the game that they give you to
Mhm.
play. Um, I haven't done much shooting in it yet because I just got into it. Using the whip feels good. Um, I'm excited to play more of it. That's where I'm at right now. I haven't played enough of it. I've played enough of it to be excited to play more of it, but I haven't played enough of it for me to be like, oh, these are the specific aspects about it that I like. Um, for um, so at least visually, it's really good. I think it's the best looking game that Machine Games. So and everything that I've played so far, it seems like they've made a step up in all the different categories of making the game from uh, the new Colossus, and I love the new Colossus. The new Colossus is I was gonna say it's one of my favorite games from last year because last year is when I played it, but it's one of my favorite games for like the last decade because it came with the new Colossus came out in 2017, right? Yeah.
I think
So
so. I'm not
yes,
entirely sure. I can't remember the exact date for exact year.
I think it was 2017. So
Look at
I'm
that.
really I'm enjoying it.
Oh,
Is that indie?
keep that up. Yep, that's Indy. Let's get there we go. Very nice.
And also, too, you said this earlier, Gold Shell. I am as well a fan of all the movies. There's no bad indie movies. There are indie movies
There's
that are
some that are
better
better
than
than
other
others. Thank
ones,
you.
but there are no bad indie movies. I don't understand how people will get upset about aliens, but be okay with a box that melts people's faces. I don't know why people are upset about time travel, but they're okay with a dude grabbing somebody's heart out of their chest while it's still pumping. I don't know. Kalima, Kalima.
Hum Num Sky.
Now, the only thing that is preposterous and they should have never put in a movie is Mutt thinking he's Tarzan. Outside of that, if you could sit there and watch the Raiders of the Lost Ark, and be like, this is such an amazing movie, even when all the people's faces melt off from a box that they don't explain what it does. But then you're like, aliens, that's so unrealistic. Time travel, that's so unrealistic.
And the thing
Know,
with the aliens too, man, they were trying to do something different. The
Mhm.
Soviets weren't after the occult. The Soviets, it was a kind of a mirror of the space race.
hmm
So going with extraterrestrials and that kind of mindset made sense for the enemy that was presented and what their goals were.
But
So
also,
I'm going to give a little pushback to some people that, I mean, everyone has their own opinion, but personally, the plot behind the crystal skull did not bother me in the slightest.
not at all. Especially because, like, even when you go back and you look at the stuff when people talk about ancient civilizations and stuff that we don't have history about it, aliens inevitably come up. Like they always come up. Like life from the stars always comes up when you're talking about ancients. How did they do that? It could have been aliens. It could have been slaves. It could have been some civilization with technology that we don't know about. Aliens are always part of that conversation when we talk about ancient things that we don't have an understanding to. So there being an indie game, an indie movie where like aliens were the main part of the thing, people made a big deal about it. Like, it made sense to me. All of the indie movies make sense to me in the world of Indiana Jones.
So I might be on. I don't know. I think where they were going with the aliens in that movie was okay. I don't think they should have shown it. They should have left it kind of that open-ended mystery of, what for me, I think it kind of jumped the shark a little bit when they spoiler alert for those that haven't watched the Crystal Skull from, I guess, I don't know, what, 10 years ago now. Um yeah, they showed like, I don't know, I don't think they should have shown the UFO or the aliens or it's just, I don't know. It kind of, they should have left that a mystery. Not all mysteries need to be solved, and I think it would have been a great way for them to leave it unknown and that Indy doesn't have to solve everything, and it's just, I don't know. For me, once that happened, it kind of took me out. Overall, the movie's good. I think it feels like a classic Indy title. The Dial of
You're
Destiny.
arguing more of an execution thing more so than a plot thing, though.
Yeah, I think
Well, I
how they went.
understand where you're coming from on that. There's a lot of things they could have executed better.
Yeah,
But as far as the overall plot, it made sense.
it made sense. Yeah, plot made
I agree.
sense.
Okay.
I think kind of how they went about the ending is kind of overall took the movie out. It killed the movie a little bit for me. Still a great movie. It feels like a classic indie. Even the Dial of Destiny feels like a great indie movie.
Hmm.
It
I
feels like a
like
classic indie
Destiny.
movie. It's a lot of fan service there.
I like Dial of
So
Destiny better than I like Kingdom of the Crystal Skull.
yeah. For me, I love this new indie title. This is an amazing title. The gameplay, the level design, it's an immersive sim. I'm playing. I just wrapped up. I'm in the jungle now. For those, it's not a big spoiler. But I'm in a certain level of the game, a jungle level. I've already done the other big levels. I've 100% all of them. So all I have to focus now is just on this. I've gotten all the field notes. I've gotten all the artifacts, everything, all the side stuff I've done. So I'm 100% now focused on the story and this last level. And it's just absolutely amazing. Like I said, there's some instances where I can kind of tell it's not Harrison Ford, but honestly, you have to really, really be looking for them. He definitely Troy Baker just did an amazing job on this. It's such, yeah. Silent Cypher, who's also a panel member on Breakfast with Boom, said, I guess like a trick is to drink a couple of shots of whiskey to get kind of a more gravular or a gravel kind of to the voice and stuff like that. So which may have helped. Who knows? But whatever he did, he nailed it 100%. The score, the music, the audio design. When you're throwing punches, it's so rewarding. Not only because you're punching a Nazi, but because the sound effect that is like so reminiscent of the movie. Just everything, the audio design, the whip, just everything feels like Indy. And Troy Baker makes you believe you are Indy in this. Not only does he make you believe he's Indy, he makes you believe you're Indy. And that's just it's such an amazing game in that sense. The level design, the puzzles too. They're rewarding. Everything about this just feels like the movie. And that was my biggest thing. It would have been a massive miss for Machine Gun Games if they didn't make it feel like an indie movie, and that you were a part of that indie movie. The cutscenes, the dialogue, the writing, just pure classic. It makes me wonder how much Disney had a hand in this title. If they kind of handheld, if they kind of just let Machine Gun Games do their thing, let them cook. But whatever it did, please, I want a sequel. I want a sequel as soon as possible, as fast as possible, if we can. So that's how great it is.
I
You
might
guys
have
can
an
still
answer
hear
for
me,
your
right?
question.
Yeah, we can still hear you.
Okay, yeah, my camera went off for some reason. I'm done fighting with it.
No, it's no problem at all. Yeah.
Yeah, I might
So
have an answer for you on the how much Disney was involved on that.
I know
yeah.
they did one of the earlier interviews. I think they were talking to I forget who they were talking to. I want to say Yerk, but it won't necessarily be him. They did say that they had extensive talks and they did a lot of stuff with Lucasfilms, like going
Okay.
through them to talk up that they collaborated a lot together is what I got from the interview. So I'm
Okay.
pretty sure
Cool.
they had some in ways into that. And also, it just happens so that the executive producer and plenty of people that were on the team for the game were big Indiana Jones fans in general. So,
All right. No, that's
Maybe
awesome.
one step further than that, actually. So, from what I understand, this is coming from Culture Crave. I remember seeing it about a couple weeks ago, a week ago. Apparently, Spielberg and George Lucas were there
oh,
to help out. I don't know how true that is. This is coming. This is what I saw from Culture Crave, but it does. Once you play it, it definitely feel Lucas and Spielberg were there. Hey,
Nice.
what's up, Roman?
Yeah.
nice.
Roman in the house. Um, Awesome. Yeah. 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 Like I said, it's pretty amazing what they've done with it. Normally we have a cooking segment. Unfortunately, I've been just insanely busy. I work in the cargo industry. It's holiday season. I I've just been insanely busy. So with that, I wasn't able to compile and edit a video to show the hot chocolate. We will be making another one coming up shortly. We'll do it like as a side video to hype up this video, that kind of thing. Its own little thing. We'll get that. Hopefully, I'm gonna work on it maybe Sunday if I can find the time. But yes, we will get that out for you guys. That's my bad. Apologies. I know Goldshell and his wife worked very hard on making that and shooting it and narrating and all that, so we do appreciate that. I dropped the ball, but instead we have something else. I actually ordered the collector's edition, so we could show that off real quick before we go. Let me just make sure you guys are here on this. Yep, I got you guys all right here. Perfect.
Yep, yep.
I just got to make sure because with the way this is set up, if you're not in as a speaker, they can't hear you. So I got you guys here. They don't have to see you, but they can still hear you at least. So I'm going to show this off. First off is the Indiana Jones Great Circle. This is metal. Like it's a nice little metal, little steel book.
Very
Really
nice.
awesome. This came inside the game. You have a nice little booklet on how to uh, download your code. The coolest part too is your code for the game. Whoops, like that. Your code for the game actually comes on a Great Circle piece, which is cool.
Sweet.
Um,
I was going to say
yeah,
they should have made a puzzle for you to figure it out.
yeah. On the back,
Oh no, man.
there it is.
You want this code, you got to work for it.
Objective all makers, so
Oh,
property of
figured
Marshall College. I'm holding the code so you guys can't see what it is. But yeah, it has its own little sticker on the back like it's an actual piece. I mean, I already downloaded it, so it doesn't really
I,
matter, but
I was
still.
about
Bethesda
to
goes,
say,
oh yeah, you like puzzles? So
I was about to say, yeah, Cork, don't let me see that because I will. You will go take it and be like, yo, why is it said it's already been for D?
I know, right? The coolest part too is this. So I'm gonna take this little part off. Um, it's the Great
oh yeah.
Circle. It looks like an actual. This is just the inside, the cover, slip cover, but it looks like an actual case, which is kind of cool. yeah, they got this really cool thing. They got the back and everything of what comes inside. But yeah, it's pretty awesome. This is the slipcover case for it. The actual box is the same. So it's the
Oh wow.
actual box, same thing, all of that. Coolest part about it is it comes with
Are all the stickers random, or are there places you actually go?
they are some of them are random. The others are where you actually go. So they have like yeah, they're all where you go. Yeah, some of them are random, but yes, they're actually where you go. And then let me just get this open. And then you have this actual globe.
Uh, that's pretty
Oh,
good.
nice.
Yeah, and it has all the places that you visit. But that's not the coolest part of this. The coolest part is it's a little not mini game, but it comes with this. Well, let me see if I can get it without
Plane.
hitting my mic. Yeah, a nice little plane. See?
So you can put it on the globe.
Yep. But that's let me move this over to the side. I was not very well prepared for this. Um ugh, perfect. All right, let me just move this over. Yeah, so you can actually let me close this. I started pushing stuff on my keyboard. There's a certain spot where this sticks, so where is it? Where are you? I don't know, somewhere around here. Um Sorry, I'm gonna find it real quick because it acts as like a little piece that. Oh, there it is. So see, yeah, and then it just kind of sticks there. But the cool part about this, let me turn it this way because it'll be a lot better. The cool part about this is you want to follow the red line till you hit right here, and then when you do that, it opens up.
Oh,
Well, that's pretty slick.
Yep, and inside is an actual. Oh, whoops! Let me get this piece back. There we go. Inside is a genuine leather notebook.
oh, cool.
Even has a little thing in there, little bookmark. But yep, and as you can see, Lucasfilm. Yeah, which is kind of cool, and you can actually write in it, and like I said, that notebook energy, gold,
Yeah,
right there. But yeah,
you had me a
so
notebook. Actually, you had me at the globe. So,
yeah, so that's the cool little feature about that. It's a little hidden compartment. Um, and yeah, you can pull your handy dandy nifty stuff in there, whatever you want to hide, or just kind of keep it around. But that's the collector's edition.
Nice.
very nice.
Yeah, yeah, I thought that was really cool. This was probably one of my favorite collector's editions. I don't really buy them as much anymore, just because of space. But out of all these, I think, yeah, really dig this one.
Yeah, that
Well,
was
I think,
pretty. Yeah, it's got a lot going on there. That was
yeah,
awesome. The the
yeah,
globe the globe itself was a nice. so- I mean, a
nice
globe
little
wouldn't fit
touch.
on the shelf, but
Yeah, I wasn't
that's why they
expecting
go ahead.
there to also be
At least the Funko
like
popped up,
stuff
I
in it.
guess.
Yeah, you can actually hide stuff. It's a little puzzle. Definitely on brand for Indy. So, and then yeah, that's where it hid the notebook here, which I'll probably end up using for designing content and stuff. I like to storyboard things when I create. So, yeah. Well, I think that does it for the show, gentlemen. Another awesome Game Pass Gumbo. Unfortunately, we weren't able to get the food section again, which apologies. That's 100% on me. Hopefully, I can get that out for you guys on
Absolutely.
Sunday. But yeah, another great show, guys. I think we're gonna take a break for the rest of the month, holidays and all and whatnot. We'll see what comes up that Xbox has cooking. or any other. Maybe there might be a big, massive Game Pass game reveal, but we're probably done for the rest of the year. We'll be back in January, I think, is the plan.
Hmm.
Hopefully, with the new year, we can design some new content. I was thinking, um, maybe I don't know, some kind of like streaming a little bit more, getting us playing games together, or even just with people in the community, or maybe doing like another different podcast that's more focused on just gaming all around, instead of kind of like the Game Pass Gumbo, where we focus on like a Game Pass release kind
I
of
had a
thing.
thought on that
Yeah, I gotta
actually.
I gotta
Where we could
stream
do
more. I bought
Game Pass
this.
Gumbo debates.
Sorry, what was
I
that, Gold?
Oh, go ahead. Yeah.
We could do Game Pass Gumbo debates. Like Q and I were in the Discord talking about sub versus dub, or we
Yeah,
could
yeah.
do one where, because Cork, you're a Capcom guy. Like if you had to choose a favorite Japanese publisher, it'd be like Capcom, right?
One of them. Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm Bandai Namco, and Q's kind of a Sega guy, so we could do
Yeah.
an episode where I'll argue which one's better. So
Something like that. Yeah. I mean, we
why
definitely have the platform and the ideas there. But yeah, maybe 2025 we'll start pushing a little bit more. I was thinking about doing more YouTube shorts. Like I said, we call them moosh booshes, and they're just little tiny clips of us, like what Gold was doing earlier in the year with controller setups and WoW and things like that. Just little tiny shorts that we could just kind of put up real quick. They're easily digestible. Again, that's why they're we called moosh boosh.
or
For
putting
those,
a video where you're completely wrong and
yeah,
Blizzard did the exact opposite of what you wanted them to do.
yeah, yeah, whatever it is, just little hot takes here and there. Like I said, easily that's why they're moosh booshes. For those that don't know, that's a term in the culinary world for a dish that's eaten before appetizers, kind of just like a little palate, for the palate kind of thing. So yeah, something like that. So hopefully in 2025 we can come up with some really cool stuff. I think you said you wanted to stream more Q. We can get you on that. Like I said, I have it all set up here on EV for that. Yeah, we'll come up with some really cool stuff. Hopefully by 2025 we'll grow this platform and this channel a lot more with some really cool content for you guys. Maybe more cooking stuff, just random cooking from gaming. Um Holly, awesome chick, but we met her at the E3 showcase, not this year, but the year before. Oh yeah, no, it was this year. Yeah, this year. She was saying too that she has cookbooks for like gaming. So like Fallout has its own cookbook and stuff like that. So we can even do like little cooking things from different games, as
Okay.
just, hey, we're gonna cook this and post it up, things like that. Um I'm investing in a gimbal for my phone as well, so we can get some really cool high quality shots, stabilized shots and stuff like that. For that, yeah, all around really great content. I have my own content I'm designing as well for Corkenstein Gaming, um, as well. So hopefully this year we're gonna take off for the rest of the year, and then 2025 we'll come back. But
And
I think
I
what's up?
will be trying. I will probably, because I bought this thing and I got to do it because I bought it. I will be trying to get some streaming time in. We probably won't
Okay,
have another podcast
yeah,
this year, but I do want to. Originally I was going to be like, oh, let me stream games with a theme, but now I think what I'm going to do is, because when I'm playing games, I'm just going to stream games that seem like they would be interesting for people to watch. Like I might stream some of my indie playthrough uh like next week or this coming week. Like I might stream some of my indie playthrough and some other stuff just to get on there, because it's not too hard. It shouldn't be too much effort for me to just stream some stuff. So be on the lookout for that if you want to
cool.
watch some games being played. Uh a little bit more of that's going to happen, at least on my part.
There we go. So yeah, tons of stuff coming up. That's pretty much it for us, guys. Thank you so much. We always appreciate y'all jumping in. Thank you to OG Frost, to Rake, to Roman, to everybody that jumped in, everybody that's watching on Twitter or X. We do appreciate it. So thank you guys again. And as always, guys, eat, love, game. Have a
We
great
love
weekend and
game.
happy holidays.
Thank, thank you
Yep.
for checking out our low sodium podcast, and like and subscribe. show your friends on. I know that sounds kind of douchey, but yeah, get the word out. I think we got a different thing going on. We want more people to be involved, and we'll see you guys in 2025. Have a safe holidays.
Yep. Safe
Yep.
holidays, guys. Eat game love.